Good evening, everyone. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Neha Jain, the program
Good evening.
coordinator, welcoming you all to the enlightening journey of a 5-day training session on statistical analysis with Excel. It is with immense pleasure that I introduce our distinguished master trainer and research expert, Dr. Chanchala Jain, ma'am. Ma'am, are you there? Chanchala Jain, ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. We welcome you today on the first day of our training. Ma'am will delve into the topic of descriptive statistics and chi-square tests. This remarkable training initiative is organized by the Research Foundation of India in collaboration with the All India Sri Shivaji Memorial Society Institute of Information Technology, Pune, and in association with Parul University and Eklavya University. Before we embark on this insightful session, allow me to present a glimpse into the extraordinary profile of Dr. Chanchala Jain, ma'am. She is a prolific author, seasoned research expert, and academician. She brings over 11 years of experience in the fields of management and commerce as an assistant professor She is also the co-founder of Pooja Counseling and Training in Indore and currently serves as an assistant professor at Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Indore, holding the position of co-coordinator of IQAC at CIMR. She has been a guiding force in the academic sphere. In her role as a research expert and trainer, she has conducted numerous workshops and faculty development programs on SPSS modules, research paper writing, and analysis through R programming. Recently, she completed a groundbreaking research project in the medical field presented before the Central Ministry. Her accolades include chairing and co-chairing various conferences with over a decade of rich research experience. She boasts an impressive portfolio of over 42 research papers featured in diverse Scopus national and international journals. Additionally, she has showcased her work at over 20 conferences, earning recognition with 5 Best Paper awards, including from JIMS Delhi, Pacific University Udaipur, and 3 at Prestige Indore. Under her capable guidance, 4 research scholars are pursuing their PhD degrees. Furthermore, she has provided mentorship to over 500 students in both major and minor research projects. As an accomplished author, she has co-authored a book addressing a critical societal issue titled Atmahatya Kyun. Now, without further delay, let's extend a warm welcome to Dr. Chanchala Jain ma'am as she imparts her knowledge and expertise to us. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Neha ma'am. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, firstly, to you for introducing me with the participants. Uh, Firstly, I'll extend my gratitude to the RFI for organizing this 5-day workshop on statistical analysis using Excel. I in I welcome you all the participants here, those who have shown their interest in this particular workshop. So thank you so much everyone for joining this workshop. Now, not taking your much time in these formalities, I'll start my session. So I hope I can. Right, Neha ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone. I hope.
Good evening.
Ma'am, good evening. Good evening,
Good
Madam
evening,
Chair.
ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Good
Good
evening,
evening, ma'am.
everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening so much.
Good
Uh,
evening.
Good evening. Good evening,
Madam.
ma'am. Good evening, everyone. So, firstly, I need to let you know this thing, the pedagogy I'm going to use in these 5-day sessions. Firstly, I'll try to explain you the conceptual aspect of every test which are mentioned there in the flyer, and then I'll let you to the Excel, and then we will see how we can perform these things on Excel, right? I think you all are there on WhatsApp also. I have shared the sheet on WhatsApp group, which I'm going to use.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So give me a second. I'm going to share my screen first. Can anyone confirm me whether my screen is visible or not?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Visible,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Thank you so much. Presently, I think you people can see I am showing you the Word file. Here, firstly, I'll discuss the conceptual aspect according to the session number 1. I need to discuss the descriptive statistics, and also I'll try to explain you the chi-square test using Excel, right? So firstly, if once I'm talking about descriptive statistics, firstly, we will talk about the statistics. I think most of you will be from the academic side. Yes or no? Can anyone confirm me? How many are you? How many
Yes.
of you are from?
Yes,
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 ma'am.
Yes,
yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, I think many of you are from the academic side, right? So the purpose of joining this workshop would be probably maybe people were knowing how to do the analysis using Excel, right? Because being an academician, being a free field from the academia, we want to know how to do the analysis of the data so that we can write some good research papers. So maybe this can be one of your purposes, right? So firstly, as I said, if we are talking about any research paper, so usually firstly we need to find the topic for our research paper writing, right? So for searching out a research paper theme or the title, generally we have to be observant. We need to see the things which are going around us, and on the basis of maybe we can observe the things, and that way we may decide the topic, right? Then, after deciding the topic, usually we know that what is the pattern of research paper. So further, we need to write the literature review, right? So in writing the literature review, usually we know this thing that there is a era which where we know that there is a thing called plagiarism is there, right? So we cannot copy the things exactly of the previous researchers or the previous authors. So what we do, we are trying to find the things or papers which are somewhat relevant to our study, or the in which field we are doing the research. So which in that particular field the research papers have contributed something, right? So that way we are trying to find certain research papers, and we are trying to do them some reading, or we are reviewing those papers, and that way we are trying to find a gap in the field, which may be help us to some way formulating or refining our topic, and that way we can come to the exact topic and the gap of the research paper. This would be the gap, and this gap will help us, or maybe this study will help us to fill that particular gap, right? So that way we are doing the literature review to find a proper gap for your research paper. After that, we are moving ahead and talking about the objectives. So if we are talking about the objectives, so maybe means usually your objectives of the study or research paper will be very much pertaining to your research title or your research paper theme. According to that, we are trying to formulate the objectives. Further, after formulating the objectives, we are trying to generate or formulate certain hypotheses. And after that, we are writing the research methodology, which will be a kind of blueprint, which will be a kind of map, which will guide us further on each and every step, that how we are going to conduct this particular research paper, or we are going to conduct this particular study. And then we are going for the data collection. After collection of the data, now this we are going for the analysis of the data. So that means where the role of this statistics comes in the picture, right? So now firstly I'll talk about the term statistics, right? So once I'm talking about the statistics, can any one of you tell me what is the biggest limitation of statistics? Yes, anyone?
It can work on only quantitative data.
Wow, very good. I think Vijaya ma'am, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Very correct, ma'am. Vijaya ma'am, very correct. Ma'am has said very correctly. Ma'am said that if we are talking about statistics, statistics can only deal with the numbers. It can only deal with the quantitative data. So what if we are having a qualitative data? Can I use something, or can I apply any kind of a statistical tool on the qualitative data? Yes?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
okay, Vijaya ma'am is saying yes, and I think someone has said no also. So may I know who said no?
Ma'am, quantitative is like digit, and qualitative is descriptive, like explained.
Khushbu ma'am, will you please repeat again?
Ma'am, actually quantitative statics, that means some digited numbers, and qualitative that means explanation.
Okay, very correct. So Khushbu ma'am, will you tell me, if we are going for collection of the data, I think we know we need to use certain tools, right? Tools like, suppose the very simple tool is questionnaire, right? So using questionnaire, we can collect the data. So is it every time is it every time possible that we need to ask only the quantitative type of questions from the respondents?
No, ma'am. We have two questions, explanations, personal interviews, door to door, survey types.
Means what type of questions we need to ask? Can you throw some light on that?
Example, my topic is only woman entrepreneur.
Right.
So my questions only one, they think woman. So I collection my questions only women.
Okay, say for example, Kushbu, I am
Like
making
door
you,
to door,
I
like
am making your point more clear to the audience or the participants. Maybe you are talking about the challenges faced by the women entrepreneurs. Suppose this type of study you are going to conduct, right? So
yes.
in that case, what type of questions you are asking?
Ma'am, actually, woman entrepreneurship like a businessman. So we can questions what your business problems and what about your risk. All
Yes,
types
very
of
correct.
questions we
Very
can
correct. Very correct. So, Khushbu ma'am, I think now I think extremely sorry to say this, but I think you're contradicting here, right? Because initially we are talking about that statistics can deal with the quantitative data, can deal with the number, but here once you are talking me on this particular topic, you are saying me this thing that we are asking such type of questions, the risk level or the challenges or problem the women are facing, right? So in that case, I
Yes.
think it is quite clear. It is not a quantitative data; it is a qualitative data, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Quantitative data means, ma'am, actually, we are gaining in digits number. Like, how much people interested in woman entrepreneurship.
but I think all questions will not be quantitative, right? It is not possible to ask
So my
every question
quantitative,
in a
yeah,
quantitative form, right, Khushbu ma'am? Yes.
yes,
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I think few people were raising their hands during our conversation. So anyone wants to add something?
Can I say something?
Yes, definitely, ma'am.
Ma'am, I think we can quantify the qualitative data in some cases or maybe in all cases, right?
Very correct. Sonali ma'am has given us one more aspect of the statistics. Ma'am is saying to us that we need to quantify our qualitative data. Is it what you want to say, right, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. For example, if we consider a review of a machine or we can say washing machine, so we
Right.
can take feedbacks from people like good, satisfactory, and we can give number to good, like one for good, five for excellent, and we can quantify that data.
Very correct. Very correct, Sonali ma'am. I think Vandana ma'am has raised her hand.
May I interrupt, ma'am?
Yes,
Actually,
Nidhi ma'am.
yeah, can we have the questionnaire afterwards? Let's
I
first
don't,
enjoy
I
the
don't have
session.
an issue,
Huh?
but I want to know the understanding of the participants, right? So for the
Yeah,
purpose, I ask certain questions so that I can know what you people are understanding about the statistics, right, ma'am?
yeah.
Yeah. So I think I can continue with this now. I think I am understanding. Few of you are knowing this thing that when we talk about statistics, uh, just a minute. I think I have opened my different. Yeah. So when we talk about the statistics means the type of process which can deal with only numbers, which can deal with the quantitative data. But in real world or in real scenario, I think it is not possible always to have the number data in the number form, right? So what we need to do in that case, if we are having a data in the qualitative form, in that case we can code the data. We can give some number to data, right? So once I'll move ahead with some other points, I'll tell you that how we can do that also, right? So here I think we discussed about data. Data, if I'm talking in terms of statistics, it should be in terms of number, right? It can be qualitative and quantitative both, but we need to always quantify the data. Is it fine?
yes, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Fine. After the data, we will talk about the term variable because these are the things which we have to deal with throughout these 5 days, right? So can anyone tell me what do you mean by variable?
Ma'am, variable means those tool that we are use in our research, like woman, like parents. like children, like students.
Okay, fine, Khushbu. Anyone else want to add something?
I think
Ma'am,
variable
I
is
think
something
variables are
which
the concept
changes its
which we are
value.
going.
I think it was little difficult for me to understand. Anyone?
Okay.
Ma'am, what will be the
Variable,
measurable by researcher in her
And
project?
variable means dependent variables and independent variables. Like
Okay.
The aspects which we are going to consider in our study. There may
Okay.
be different aspects which we are going to study. So we gave the name to different aspects that are
Okay.
variable.
Fine. Okay, very correct. So if I say, I can say variable is an entity, right, which can accept any value, which varies from one thing or one object to other object. That is variable, which varies, which can accept any value. That is variable. This is a very simple definition of variable, right? Once if I talk about research or statistics, usually I think few of you have added, there can be dependent or there can be independent variables in statistics. Usually there are some other classifications also, but broadly if I say, I can say this thing that there are two types of variable, dependent and independent variable, and on the basis of that we are generally performing the statistical tool, right? So variable is normally as an it is an entity which can accept any value or which varies. That is variable. It is a
Hello,
characteristic.
ma'am.
Yes.
I have a concern.
Yes. Yes, sir, please.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah,
Professor.
ma'am. Can we do one thing? Like we can.
Professor, I think I can hear you. Hello. Professor, may I continue?
yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So I think this is the two things, dependent and independent. Once we will moving ahead with the sessions, I'll discuss more about these variable and types of variables, right? Talking about the next thing. Can anyone tell me how we can measure variable? Say, for example, I want to measure attitude. How I can measure that? Anyone?
Ma'am, can we rank that
Okay.
by ranking?
Okay. Anyone else?
Ma'am, average.
Ma'am, by using Likert scale.
By using Likert scale. Okay, Chitra ma'am. Fine. Okay, good. So I think you people are knowing there is something called scale in statistics, right? So if I say I need to measure a variable, because in day-to-day life we are dealing with so many things. If we are talking about the, say for example, the liquid thing, so we are buying the liquid thing in terms of liter. If we are talking about the thing which are in solid form, maybe they are available in the dozen form or maybe in kg form, something like that. So there is a proper units available, proper apparatus available. Using them we can measure these type of things which are around us. But when I talk about variable in statistics or variable in research, so it is very difficult for us to measure those type of things, because suppose if I, as I said, if we want to measure the attitude of a person, so I think I cannot say a person is having 0.5 or maybe half kg attitude. I think it is not, it will not the correct way to say this thing, right? I cannot say a person is carrying 1 liter of perception, right? I cannot say this thing, right? So that is why there is the term called measurement scale in statistics, right? I hope you people have heard about the measurement scales, right? How many of you have heard? Okay. May I understand how many of you knowing about the term measurement scales?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Not very much, ma'am, but please little
I
bit.
think you have heard, but right, Kuldeep ma'am?
Ji, ma'am.
I think people have heard, maybe you are not knowing in better manner, but you people are knowing that there is something called measurement scales in statistics, right?
Exactly, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, very good. No problem, no problem. So here I'm going to discuss that. Firstly, if I talk about the measurement scales, maybe you have heard about the name as nominal, then ordinal, then interval, and then ratio. So these are the 4 measurement scales available in the statistics. According to the nature of variable, we are using these scales, right? Now, say for example, always I take this example in my FDPs or in my workshops. That is, if I talk about nominal scale. So firstly, we need to know what is the work of nominal scale. Nominal scale will help you only for the categorization purpose or for the identification purpose. So this is the only role of nominal scale. So for example, if I talk
Sorry for
about,
interrupt, ma'am. Will you provide notes for all your topics?
I think this is only what I'm showing you here, ma'am.
Okay, so no issue, ma'am. I will take screenshot.
Okay, if you say, I'll
Okay.
share this word file with you if you want.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. So if I say gender, it is very easy to understand when I'm talking about gender. I think we all know if I talk about, and usually we collect the data for a gender also when we talk about a research, right? Sometimes it happens we want to compare a particular variable on the basis of the gender, right? So we are asking what is your gender, or maybe we are writing gender and male and female we are giving as options, right? So that way I can only categorize my respondents on the basis of gender. I can say these are the number of male and these are the number of females. Is it right?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Any question? No.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, fine. So that means I can say this thing that when I talk about gender, I can classify the respondents. I can categorize them that these are the male, these are the female. But apart from categorization, I cannot do anything else. I cannot compare these two. I cannot say male are superior or female are superior. It is not possible for me to say. So that is the limitation of the nominal scale. It can only tell you this is the categorization of your data, right? So that is the nominal scale, right? Now suppose if I talk about I'm collecting the data in the form of male and female, right? So here I'm taking the previous point also, that if I say gender will be your qualitative variable, because nominal and the ordinal scales are your categorical scales, that is the qualitative scales, right? So if I say gender male, so male and female, these are two qualitative terms, these are two characteristics of a person, that this person is male, this person is female, right? But if I want to perform any statistical operations or any type of test using this gender variable, so what I need to do, I need to code this data, right? So might be possible I'm giving 1 to male and I'm giving 2 to female. So that way, if I look at my gender column, if somewhere I'm finding 1, so I can understand that 1 means this is a male, 2 means this is a female, correct? So that way I can only these numbers, because here when I'm talking about number, so a number are having magnitude, right? 1 and 2. So I can easily say 1 is less than to 2 or 2 is greater than to 1. But when I say, if look at my data, this data is this 1 and 2 are representing that 1 is male, 2 and 2 is female. So I can say this thing, I cannot compare 1 and 2 in that way. Is it fine? So this is only for identification purpose. I have given 1 and 2 here. Is it clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Right. Further, moving ahead, talking about the next scale. So firstly, you need to know this thing. I think you people are very expert in these things, and you people are knowing these things, that the scale, what I can say, the order of the scale would be like this only. Firstly, you need to say nominal, then ordinal, then interval and ratio. So order will always remain same. I cannot say nominal, interval, ratio, and then ordinal. No, order will be same. The reason is because once you are moving ahead from one scale to the other scale, every scale is having the characteristics or features of its previous scale, right? So if I talk about nominal scale, it will have, or this particular scale will have the features of nominal scale, right? Similarly, once I talk about interval, so it will having the features of ordinal as well as nominal. So that is why this is the sequence of the measurement scales, right? Now we will talk about the ordinal. So ordinal scale will having the characteristics or features of nominal scale. That means it can categorize the data. It can help you to categorize the data. Or apart from that, you can also rank the data, or you can order the data, right? So that is the ordinal scale. Example, so suppose if I say the suppose I'm asking you your age, or maybe your status on the basis of your age. So maybe you're saying I'm young, I'm adult, or I'm old. So that way you can say, you can categorize that these number of people are falling in the young category, these number of people are adult, and these number of people are older people, right? And that way you can say there is a proper order also: young, adult, and old, or old, young, old, adult, and young, likewise. So that means order is also possible there. So that is known as the ordinal scale. Here order was not possible in case of nominal scale, but here that variable which we are taking, here that variable can be categorized also, and it can be ordered also. Is it clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Further, talking about the interval scale. So interval scale will have the features of its previous two scales, and along with that, it will have the equal difference, right? Equal difference between the 2 points, right? Say, for example, those who have done MBA, or maybe studies in which they have studied the subject research methodology, they are knowing this thing, that when they are referring the books of research methodology, there is a very simple and very famous example given, which is the which is of the temperature scale, right? So once we are talking about interval scale can be well defined by using the temperature scale. Say, for example, thermometer we all have seen, and probably it will be having in our homes also, right? So we all know the thermometer. So when I talk about thermometer or the temperature scale, it is generally in the Celsius form. So we can say this thing, that if I say the distance between suppose 10 degrees Celsius and 20 degrees Celsius, you will always tell me the difference is 10 degrees Celsius, right? Similarly, from 20 to 30 or 30 to 40, the difference is again same. We know this thing. There will be 10 small lines between 10 and 20. Then further 20 to 30, again there are 10 small lines, and that it is reaching to 30 from 20. Is it clear? So that is, there is an equal difference, right? But the problem with the interval scale is that it has arbitrary zero, right? This is the lacking of the interval scale. Arbitrary zero meaning is what? Say, for example, means when I talk about the temperature scale, so we know this thing, that when we say 0 degrees Celsius meaning it is arbitrary zero, because once this scale was developed by a scientist, so arbitrary they have put that this would be the 0 degrees Celsius. But we know, can anyone tell me what is the nature of temperature? Yes. How you can say that I'm feeling temperature? Anyone?
We compare the hotness between the two objects, then only.
Very correct. I can say if I'm feeling hot, I can say the temperature is very high. If I'm feeling cold, I can say temperature is very low, right? So that means these are the two ways of feeling the temperature around us, right? So now if I'm saying 0 degrees Celsius, so at 0 degrees Celsius, what we feel?
Cold.
Very correct. We feel cold. So that means if I'm
Cold.
saying 0, very correct. If I'm saying 0, right? So 0 means it should not be present there. Is it clear to all? That means the characteristics which we are measuring, but still that characteristics is present over there. Still I'm saying it is 0. Is it clear to all? That is the interval scale. Means that is an arbitrary 0 we have kept for our purposes, for our solution purposes only, but still that thing is present there. Is it clear? Maybe in any form, but still it is present there. That is the interval scale or arbitrary 0 meaning. Is it clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you give one more example for arbitrary zero?
Can we say like this interval is having the range? as we are
Sorry?
saying it is, can we say it like it is having a range? If we are saying interval, like as we are defining
No, it
equal
is not that
difference.
interval, ma'am. It is not that interval. Interval meaning is that there is an equal difference between the points. Suppose, as ma'am said, you can give some other example. So, for example, if I'm talking about in terms of research, right? So, for example, if I'm saying I want to measure the perception of a person, right? So, I think, or attitude of a person I want to measure. So, I think, can I find a person with the zero attitude? Is it possible for me to find?
No, ma'am.
So that is again example of interval scale. Means present in the person, attitude will be still present. Maybe I'm saying that attitude is zero, but still it is present in every person. Maybe in a positive manner, maybe in a negative manner, but attitude is still there. Is it clear? So that is the example of the interval scale. Fine.
One more thing.
Can I say something?
Below zero temperature, also there is a temperature, no? So we are
Yes,
going
yes, Vaishali. Correct, very correct. Means we are saying zero, zero means it should not be present, right? But still we can feel cold. One of the natures of temperature we can still feel there. So that means the characteristics which we are measuring, that is still present there, and we are saying it is zero. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
That is arbitrary.
Ma'am,
Slide
can I?
is not looking. Slide is not looking.
I think I'm showing word 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Because thing in when we talk about this Google Meet, ma'am, problem is that if I am presenting my screen, I cannot see who is talking to me. So for the purpose, I switch so that I can see who is interacting with me. So that is why you are unable to see my shared screen. Is it fine?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong. In case of quantitative data, zero means nothing. And in this case, zero has some significance. So that's what you're saying. This is a demerit of interval scale.
I
Like
didn't
zero
say
attitude.
it is a significance, ma'am. So, Ali ma'am, I didn't say that it is a significance. I only said this thing because we know temperature scale, we all know, right? And we know that this is 0 degrees Celsius. My point is here, if I talk about interval scale, in interval scale, always there will be a arbitrary zero. Arbitrary zero means the thing is still present there, but we are saying it is zero. Because we are not finding any point where it can be absent, right?
Ma'am, can
Yes.
we say that there is some percentage, minimum percentage is there that we can
Yes.
consider as zero?
This is what I am saying. Some point, but still it is present.
Ma'am, is there any
Actually
another
zero.
example rather than measuring the temperature? Is there any another example?
I think I have
Doesn't-
already given, sir, of attitude and perception. Because usually we are dealing with such kind of variables in our researches, right? So if I say to
Right.
find a person with zero attitude, I don't think so it is possible for us to find. Every person will have a certain level of attitude in them, right? So we cannot
Okay.
say a person is with zero attitude or with zero perception. Every person will carry certain type of perception in him or her, right?
Madam, can speed be an
Right,
example?
ma'am. Correct.
Madam, can speed be an example?
Speed cannot be an example, I think, sir, because speed is have actually, if something is stationary, so speed is zero.
Correct.
So
So
it is
it's
a ratio scale variable.
Yes, ma'am. There is a true zero in
Yes,
speed.
it is true zero because something is stationary, means it is not moving. So there is no
Okay.
speed.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Moving ahead, talking about the ratio scale, I think everything is clear till now, right? May I move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. Talking about the ratio scale, so ratio scale is above all the three scales. It is having the actual zero. That is the or absolute zero. This is known as the ratio scale. Means apart from the remaining characteristics, it will have the absolute or actual zero. This is the ratio scale. Say for example, I want to find a person with zero salary. It's quite possible. Person is not doing nothing. He is not earning any salary. He is not getting any salary. So the salary is zero. It is actually zero. Is it clear? So that is a ratio scale. Is it clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
this way, these are the 4 major skills we need to understand, because these skills will help us out to get to understand the nature of our variable, and according to that, we can decide which statistical tool or test we need to adopt to apply on our data. I hope it is clear. May I move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Talking about the next thing, now I'm coming to the descriptive statistics. So once I am having the data, right? So if I am having the data, what I need to do with the data, firstly, I need to know its nature. I need to understand what type of characteristics my data is having. So I want to summarize my data. So descriptive statistics will give you the summary of your data. So for the summarization purpose, we are applying descriptive statistics. Can anyone tell me what methods comes under the descriptive statistics? Anyone?
Yes, inferential statistics
Ma'am,
means
quantitative method.
mean, median, mode, madam.
Chitra,
Inferential.
ma'am, very correct.
Yes,
Standard deviation,
and
mean,
chi-square, standard deviation, and what is
Everything
Not
is
ANOVA
part
test, all
of.
those things.
Everything is not the part of descriptive, ma'am. Please wait. I'm like telling you. Measurement.
Descriptive
Sorry.
means which are describing things in numerical terms, mean, median, standard deviation, frequency, percentage. Those are the descriptive statistics.
Okay, fine, ma'am. So I think I have written here the methods: measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion, measures of distribution. Generally, these three falls under the descriptive statistics. I think you have told me the name, that is mean, median, and mode. These will come under the measures of central tendency. Standard deviation and variance will come under the measures of dispersion. Skewness and kurtosis will be the part of your measures of distribution. Is it clear to all? Now, if I talk about the first thing, that is the measures of central tendency. So measures of central tendency, I think from name itself, it is very clear. Central tendency means we are getting a single value, one single central value, which is representing the whole lot of data or the whole set of data. That is the measures of central tendency. So to find that measure, we are using mean, median, and mode. So mean, median, and mode are giving us a single value which will represent the whole data set, right? So that single value, we are saying this is the central value around which all the data will lie. That is measures of central tendency. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Talking about
Yes,
mean. Yes, thank you. Talking about mean, for which variable we need to find the mean. So I'm writing here for interval and ratio. That is for numeric variable, we need to find mean, right? Talking about median and mode, these two, generally mode, if I talk about median, you can find it for the nominal and ordinal, and mode is only for the nominal scale variable, right? It is, I hope you people have noted it down or maybe captured, right? May I move ahead?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think mean, we all know it is an average, right? Median is the middlemost value which is dividing your data into two equal parts. Mode is the most occurred or most frequently occurring value is mode. These are the meanings of these three terms. Now talking about the measures of dispersion. So as I said, usually if suppose I'm writing here one example for you to understand this, right? Suppose okay.
Excuse me, madam. Can
Yes.
we get your recorded class? Can we?
I
Will
think
you
that it will be available on YouTube. I think RFI persons can help you in that.
Yes, YouTube link is already shared, so you are going to get that. You can watch it to understand.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So here you can see I have written 5 numbers, right? If I want to see these 5 numbers I am having, can anyone find me the mean of these 5 numbers? 23, 46, it would be 69, 69, 79, 89, 98. 98 plus, I think 165 is the sum. Total is 165. And when divide this by, so we will get the mean as
33.
So this is the mean, right? Now here my point is I'm talking about the measures of dispersion, right? So can anyone say, I think we not I need to ask this question. I think we can easily see mean is 33 and these are the observations listed here. So every can I say that every value is 33? Is it? Yes.
No, you cannot.
Yes, I cannot. Very correct, sir. Because here we can see 33 is the mean, but this is different from 23. Similarly, from 46, 67, 19, and 10. So that means there is certain deviations from this mean value. This deviation is nothing. This is known as the dispersion. So once we are calculating the mean and we want to see whether your whole lot of data or whole set of data is similar to your mean or whether there is certain scatteredness or deviation in the data. That is known as deviation or the dispersion. And to measure that, we are using standard deviation and the variance. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
is there any difference between standard deviation and variance?
Usually, sir, standard deviation is the square root, and when we are doing the square root of that, we are getting the variance, right? So the
But
reason is
in
that.
theoretical term,
Sorry.
in theoretical term, ma'am, this is the formula we can use. But
Yes.
is there any difference in theoretical term?
If I say, that is what I'm saying to you, sir. Generally, what happens if you know the formula says that it is the sum of x minus x bar, right? And the
Right.
square of that. Just a minute, I need to use, right? And divided by n, and then it's taking a square root of this is giving us the standard deviation, right? So generally, if I say this thing, in the standard deviation, we are getting a value in the form of plus and minus, because square root means it can be plus also, it can be minus also, right? Say, for example, if I am writing 4 and I want to ask you a square root of this, what you will say? It will be plus or
16.
minus
Plus minus.
2. Square root I am saying.
Right. Plus
It
minus
will be
2.
plus or minus 2, right, sir? So it's in the standard deviation, generally when I talk about this type of things is this type of thing can be there. So to resolve that thing, we are using the variance. Generally, it is known in the statistics, variance is more better than the standard deviation. Generally, people are using variance for the study. But if I say in terms of finance, maybe you have studied
Standard deviation is also ignore the sign.
No, you're not getting, ma'am. I said standard deviation of this square. Just a minute. Square root of this is the standard deviation, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Right. So similarly, suppose I'm asking you the square root of 4. So it can be
2.
Plus minus 2.
Plus minus 2.
Right.
Yes.
So that means plus is also included, minus is also, it means two values can come there. Is it clear? But when I talk about variance, it will be short one value, because you are not taking the square root in terms of variance. So this will be missing in terms of variance. So that is why usually people are more relying on variance rather than relying on standard deviation. But as I said, when I talk about the finance, in finance, to measure the risk, maybe you I don't know how many of you are from finance, or maybe you are knowing the concepts of finance, but we always know this thing that to invest money in the market, right? Say, for example, in the share market, generally we need to see the risk level, right? That risk level generally is checked by this standard deviation, right? So might be possible to, according to the domain, we can change this thing, but usually in research, we are assuming that variance is better measure as compared to the standard deviation. Fine, sir.
Fine, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Talking about further the measures of distribution. Can anyone tell me how many of you are knowing about the normal distribution?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, so what do you mean by normal distribution?
Ma'am, it's a bell-shaped curve, and the mean is in the middle of that curve, right?
Yes, very correct. I think
Mean
also
is always right.
right? Yes, yes, please continue, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. Mean is always lie between the in the middle of that bell-shaped curve, and whole data it is divided into three parts. I didn't get it, but 62.3% data is in the first part, and 99.98% in the third part. Am I right, ma'am?
Sir, I think you're talking about this. Mu plus minus 1 sigma, mu plus minus 2 sigma.
Right, ma'am.
8.27%. Is it something you're talking about?
68.27%, right,
Yes.
right, ma'am.
And then 95% and 99.27%.
99.9.
Yes,
Right,
something you're
right,
talking
ma'am.
about. Yes. Just a minute. I'm writing here for you. It is 95. And lastly, it is 99.27. No, it is not 99, but 99.73.
99.7. Yeah.
It is 3 sigma. Yes, I think at some extent you are very correct, sir. So if I say generally, as we talk about statistics and the statistical tool, there are certain assumptions in statistics. If we talk about t-test, which we are going to discuss tomorrow. So if I talk about t-test or or ANOVA test, so generally the major assumption is we need to see the normality of the data. We need to check whether our data is normally distributed or not. And if we are talking about normally distributed data, so we are talking about the numeric data. We are not bothered about the categorical data. We need to see your numeric data is normally distributed or not, right? So in that case, the data should follow certain characteristics, right? What are the characteristics of your normal distribution? So the very first one is your mean should be equal to median and it should be equal to mode. Generally, this is the first characteristics or feature of your normal distribution. This is what is standard normal distribution, because in real life it is very difficult to get such kind of things, right? Similarly, if I talk about the skewness is what? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by skewness?
Width of the bell-shaped curve, right?
The shape of
How
the
much it is splitted.
In which side it is
Indicate
spreading?
the data is symmetric or not.
Yes, your data is symmetric or not. Measure of asymmetry in the data is because, as sir said, it is a
Ma'am, there is lack of symmetry.
median. Sorry.
Ma'am, when there is lack of symmetry.
Lack of, yes, very correct. So as sir said, I think Parv sir has said to us, when we talk about the normal distribution, we all know we are all are having one picture of bell-shaped curve, right? And I think we are from academics field, so we all know that bell-shaped curve can be represented by the bell-shaped curve, right? And sir also said that mean is lying in the middle. Middle means you can, I think, imagine now, because it will be a little difficult for me to draw that shape here. So it is a bell-shaped curve. Mean is lying at the middlemost of that particular curve. So that means it is dividing your data into 50-50%. 50% data will at the right hand side of the mean, 50% data will be left hand side of your mean value, right? But if this proportion changes, 60% data is at right hand side, 40% is left hand side, or vice versa, something like that. That means your data is skewed data. Clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Proportion can be anything. 50-50 is okay, but if proportion changes, that means your data is skewed, right? So if there is no skewness in your data, so your skewness value should be 0, right? Similarly, talking about kurtosis. Kurtosis is the it is the study of the tails and the peakness of the curve. Whether the curve is sharp or whether the curve is what I can say widened, right? The peak of the curve is very widened. That is the study of kurtosis. Or maybe if I say about tails, whether the tails are very heavy or lighter, in that case, that is the study of the kurtosis, or that is known as the kurtosis. Generally, for the normal distribution curve, the kurtosis value should be 3, right? So these are these, just a minute, one more thing I need to write here. Standard deviation for the normal distribution, standard normal distribution should be 1. So these are the few things or few characteristics which are standard normal distribution follows. But in real world, it is very, very, very tough to achieve such values. So we need to compromise with normality usually, right? So generally we are keeping certain, what I can say, standards, or we can say if your value lies from this to this, somewhere we can say your data is normally distributed. So in case of skewness and kurtosis, we can say if your if so we can say
And variance is also will be 1.
yes, variance. I think I can hear my voice. I think you need to mute yourself. I don't know who's mic is on. Yes, thank you. Yes. So if a standard deviation is 1, because there is a relationship between standard deviation and variance. We know the square of standard deviation is variance. So if standard deviation is 1, variance will always be 1. Square of 1 is 1. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So I was talking about there are certain standard values. If we are getting such values, so we can say your data is approximately normally distributed. So what are those values? So I'm writing in brackets here. If your standard skewness value is coming in between -2 to +2, we can call your data is not that much skewed. We can go with that data, right? Similarly, this is -3 to +3. In that case also, your data is not kurtotic data, right? So one more thing I need to write here for you people. If we are getting plus value of skewness, so it shows positive, or we can say positively skewed data, right? Similarly, if we are getting the figure value is minus, we can call it as a negatively skewed data, right? Similarly, coming here, talking about kurtosis, generally, if kurtosis is positive, we can call it as a leptokurtic data. If it is negative, we can call it as a letikurtic. Yes. If your skewness value is kurtosis value is 0, it is known as mesokurtic. Right? So usually for I need to write here 0. I think that would be much better for you people. If we are, because for a normal distribution, your kurtosis value should be mesokurtic, that is 0, right? But we have made here -3 to +3, means if your kurtosis value is coming in this range, somewhere we can accept it, right? So this is about the measures of distribution. I hope I am clear to everyone till here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And why skewness is between -2 to +2 and kurtosis +3 to -3?
Very good question, Geeta ma'am. I think I need to tell you this thing also. It is not like it is -2 to +2 only. You can also take it as a -3 to +3 as well, right, ma'am? But the reason is it is totally like that. How much you are bothering about the normality of your data. If you're not much bothered, you can keep it from -3 to +3 also. But if you're bothering about your data, so there can be two ranges. Either you can take it as a -2 to +2. Similarly here, -2 to +2, or -3 to +3. If you're more bothered, you can take it as a -2 to +2, but you are less bothered, you can take it as a -3 to +3. Fine, ma'am? Geeta ma'am, it is okay?
Okay.
Yeah. I hope till here I'm clear. May I move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. So this was about the conceptual aspect of descriptive statistics. Using this, we are generally summarizing our data. After summarization of the data, we can get the understanding what type of data we are having, whether the data is skewed data, it is not skewed data, it is kurtotic, which kind of kurtosis it is having. Accordingly, we are deciding, because if your data is having these kind of problems, skewness and kurtosis problem, or either of one type of problem your data is having, so that would be your call. Still, you want to go for the parametric test or non-parametric test, right? So that we will decide for, discuss later on. I'll talk about the descriptive statistics. So I expect everyone to open now a sheet which I have shared. I hope people will do along with me, because you cannot give me any excuse. I'm not having software, because this is Excel. Everyone will be having this, right? So I'm expecting everyone to open Excel, which I shared with all of you. Done? Open. How many of you are performing along with me? Please honestly tell me. Only 5-6 people? 7, 8, 9. Good. Because I think if you have joined this workshop, please try to do hands-on practice of the things which I am telling you, because this will help you only.
From where we can get the Excel sheet?
I think, ma'am, it is available on WhatsApp group.
Okay. But I'm not joined in the group.
I think I also not joined. They didn't join me.
I think anyone from the RFI will be there, ma'am. They will share with you the link on the chat. So with that, you can join that, right?
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have shared the link for WhatsApp group in our chat box.
So may I move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So those who are well versed with Excel, and they are those who are knowing this thing, that how to perform these type of things like mean, median, mode, etc. in Excel, it is very good. But those who are performing for very first time, or maybe they have performed previously and they are not in a position to recall the things, they can pay attention on the screen, which I am shared with all, which I have shared with all of you. Here you can see we are having. I have given you 2 sheets, demo and practice sheet. So I will work on the demo. You will need to do practice sheet afterwards, right? Along with me, you will work along with me. You will work on the demo sheet. So here you can see we are having 2 variables listed: height variable and weight variable. Can anyone tell me whether these 2 variables are numeric or categorical?
Numeric.
Very correct. These 2 are the numeric variable, right? Now, if I want to find a mean, I know there is a function called average. We all know this thing, right? And here you need to only select your variable. You need to give the range of your variable, and that way you can close the bracket after giving the range, and that way you can press enter, and this would be the mean value. Similarly, you need to write median. You will give the range. You can find the median also. You can write STDEV, that is standard deviation, and you can give the range. You can find the standard deviation as well. Is it clear? Similarly, you will write the VAR variance, and you can give the range. You can find the variance also. But why to do all these things? Why to recall or keep all these things in mind when we are having some other solution also available in Excel? What you need to do for that? You need to add a analysis tool pack in your Excel. Those who are having already, it is good. Those who are not having, they can see how to add that. You need to go to the file menu. You need to click on that. Then you can go to the options. I'm repeating, go to the file tab or file menu, click on the options button. Then here you can click on the add-ins. Once you will click on the add-ins, all the related options will be available at the right hand side. You need to go down and you need to click on the go button. And then here you can see add-ins available for Excel are available here. You need to only select the first checkbox, that is analysis toolpack, and then you need to click on OK. I'm not clicking on OK because I have already added this toolpack in my Excel. I hope you people have followed the process to edit. Yes. How many of you have performed or already you are having this?
Ma'am, I'm able to see only data analytics as a tool there.
Sorry, sir.
I'm able to see only data analytics as a tool there.
Okay, same the process you have performed this, right?
Yeah, I've gone to the add-ins and then I
Yeah.
see all CRM data analytics. I don't see.
This is what you are getting?
Sorry, let me just come back to the screen. No, I didn't get that. Can you go back a screen so I get to know where exactly you went? So you went to File.
Options.
Okay.
Add-ins. Then go. And here.
All right. Okay. I'm not getting that.
You're still not getting?
No, I'm just getting add-ins directly. I'm not getting the options.
Okay. Can you share your screen? Is it possible
Yeah,
for you?
I got it. I got it.
Got it? Okay, fine.
Yes,
Thank you.
add-ins. And analysis tool pack you said, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
What about the remaining friends you people have downloaded? May I proceed?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, if you have added it, you can find it under the data tab. You need to click on the data tab, and under the data tab, extreme right, you can find data analysis. You need to click on this. Once you will click on that, you would be able to see the data analysis dialog box will appear. I hope everyone has found this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now you.
Yes, ma'am. Again, please tell.
Sorry.
One second, please. The steps, please tell again. Steps.
From
File,
where?
then option, file, then option, then
Okay,
go
file.
to.
You need to go to the file, then options, then add-ins. Left hand side add-ins would be available.
Yes, madam. Adding.
Then you can go down. Go button is available.
Okay. 1 second. Option. Adding.
Then go button.
Go button. Yes, ma'am. Go button.
You can click on go, and then you can
Analysis.
select the first option, analysis toolpack.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Done?
Yes, ma'am. Done.
Okay, fine. After adding it, you can find it under the data tab. You can click on the data tab and you can see extremely right. Analysis toolpack would be available with the name data analysis. You can click on this. You will click, you will get the data analysis dialog box. Here you need to select the descriptive statistics. Done? May I click on OK? Everyone has found it?
Yes.
You can click on this. Now you will be getting a descriptive statistics dialog box. Here it is asking you for the input range. For which variable we want to find the descriptive statistics. So here we want to find, we are having two variables. If you want to find for both, you can select both. But here I'll show you only for the height variable. You can perform for weight by your own, right? So you need to select your data. You can see I am selecting my data, including the label, right? So you can select your data.
Excuse me, madam.
Done? Selection is done?
I'm still in adding.
Sorry?
I got the file, then I options, and from options
Then add-ins.
Add-ins, yeah. After that,
After add-ins, you need to go down. You can find a go button is there. Click on go.
then
First option is available, analysis toolpack.
okay.
Check
So
this. Check this that box and click on OK.
no, I'm not getting anything.
Sorry?
After that, I'm not getting anything.
You need to go to the data tab, ma'am. Data tab, in data tab it will be available for you.
Manage data model.
Data menu, data tab.
Yeah, data tab. Then
I think it would be available. Then you can see it is available in my screen also. Analysis, data analysis.
Madam. After that, no, we are not getting. Actually, on the
If
process.
you can share your screen only, then I can help you, ma'am. I think it is difficult for me to understand your problem.
because I'm on laptop and I'm for attending this training program, I'm using mobile. So
But I think, ma'am, you should understand the thing. If we are joining a statistical analysis using Excel, so you should work on your. You can join by your mobile to listen, but to perform, you need to open your laptop. Without,
I have opened my laptop.
yes, so you need to perform on that, because I can understand. You need to open 2 devices if you are attending something. So I think you got it or not?
No, till data now I'm not getting the next step.
Yes, ma'am. I also not getting the after analysis toolbar. We clicking it, then okay, we are clicking, then nothing
Have
is
you
coming.
have you checked that box or not? You need to check the box. It is not like it is showing you and pressing OK.
Yes, ma'am. Checking means ticking that box side by
Yes.
left side box.
Yes.
Ticking, clicking, then doing okay, but nothing is coming. Nothing is coming.
Have you
Sunita
checked?
ma'am, data sheet is shared in WhatsApp group. Sunita ma'am's data sheet is shared in WhatsApp group. From there you can download.
Okay.
Okay, so ma'am, the participants, those who are facing the problem, can you share your screen? I think without looking at the screen, I cannot help.
Yes, ma'am, sharing.
Just a
Trying to
minute.
share.
Just a minute. I need to stop sharing my screen. Wait a minute, ma'am. Yes. Please share, ma'am. I have stopped shared my screen. I'm waiting. Are you sharing your screen, ma'am?
No, madam, I am unable to do. I can send. I am doing on laptop and class doing on phone. I am unable to do that. Sorry, madam. You carry on.
Geeta, ma'am.
Can I try?
Yes, I do not have any problem. Anyone?
Anyone? I am unable.
Anyone can share. I do not have any problem. Screen.
Ma'am, I am trying, but it's not correct.
You need to, ma'am, you can see the smiley face is coming. After that, there is an icon, that upload type of option. Yes, I think now someone has shared a screen. Yes, sir.
I've shared the screen just now. It is probably
Thank you
appearing
so
there.
much, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, will you go to the file menu? Yes.
Right.
Just a minute, sir. Sir, hold on here. Hold on here, sir. Geeta ma'am and one more, I don't know the name, one of more participants, those who are facing problem. Please look at the screen. Sir has shared. You can see the thing what you need to do. You need to go to the file tab. You can see under that more options is available. Here you need to click on add-ins. Click on go button. Then here the first option, analysis toolpack. You need to check, sir. You need to check that box, analysis toolpack. Yes, you can click on OK. It is taking few seconds, and then once this, yeah, you can go to the data that is available now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So I hope Geeta ma'am you understand.
From where data is available in, I don't know.
Ma'am, in data, it is
I
next
have done
data
all.
validation, na?
Can I close my screen?
Jane ma'am.
Sir, please hold. Sorry, I'm not getting you.
Chanchala Jane ma'am.
Yes, I'm listening.
Sorry to interrupt you. Geeta ma'am, if you are facing problem, today's session is available on YouTube also, so you can perform it later and ask to ma'am
No,
tomorrow.
no. I perform all the steps. Madam has learned very nicely, but where I will get the data? I didn't get in the data.
Ma'am, you need to go to the data tab. And in the data tab, extremely right side, you can find the data analysis tool.
Sorry, classmates.
Ma'am, actually, I got it.
Okay, Gurjit ma'am, thank you.
I got it. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So, Geeta ma'am, I think only one request from you. Today, I think I cannot help you out as you cannot share your screen. Tomorrow, if you can join from your laptop. Geeta ma'am, tomorrow you can please join from your laptop, the meeting. And that way can share your screen. I think it will be easier for me to understand your problem, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, Subramaniam Iyer sir, you can please stop sharing your screen so that I can share my screen. Iyer sir. Okay, so I think we have given the range of our variable here, right? Moving ahead, Geeta ma'am, you can only note down the steps today, right? Moving ahead, talking about grouped one, you can see your data is grouped by column. Your data is available in the column. If your data will be in the row, you can select row. But our data is in column, so we will select this grouped by columns only. This is the by default thing, and we will go with this, right? Now, labels in the first row. Yes, I think I have selected my data, including the labels. You can see the selection. So I need to check this box, labels in the first row. That way, Excel can understand that the first term is your categorical or the character type of term, which is the label only. So that way, it will not include in the calculation part of descriptive statistics. Is it fine? May I move ahead?
Yes.
Now, output options, so 3 varieties are available. If you want to generate your output in the same sheet, you can go with the first option. If you want to generate output in the new sheet, you can go with the new worksheet. If you want to generate your output in the new workbook, you can go with the third option, right? I'll generate my output here only after selecting the first option. If you're generating in the same sheet, you need to come to this particular box and you need to give the reference of any blank cell like this. Is it fine?
Yes.
Fine, everyone?
Yes,
Yeah.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, how to fill that input range? Can you explain it once again, ma'am?
Ma'am, you need to select the range by your mouse.
From the entire data, 2 columns or
I think I have selected for height only.
height, entire row, that entire
Entire
row we have to.
column. Entire
We have
column.
to keep the cursor in input range and entire column we have to select.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So output range, I have given the blank cell reference where I want to generate the output. Now, after that, what I want to generate? So firstly, I want to generate the summary statistics. So I have selected the first checkbox, right? Confidence level of mean, by default, it will be coming at 95%. So we are okay with this. Kth largest and kth smallest meaning is that if you want to find, suppose I want to see the third largest value of my height variable. So I can select this checkbox and I can make changes and I can see I can come here in that particular box and I can, using my keyboard, I can make it 3, right? If I want to see. Similarly, if I want to see the kth smallest, means third smallest, fourth smallest, whatever I want to see, I can select these check boxes and that way I can make changes in the boxes which are available at the right hand side. By default, it will give me the first largest and the first smallest value. Is it clear to everyone?
Ma'am, what is confidence
Yes,
level
ma'am.
for me?
confidence level for mean meaning is your mean will be coming at 95% confidence level.
Okay.
Okay, then I think I can press OK and you can generate your output. Once I'll press on OK, you would be able to see output is generated by the Excel for us. So it is the mean height, that is 1.508. Standard error of mean is 0.007. Median is 1.49. Mode is 1.47. Standard deviation is 0.73. Variance is 0.0053. Kurtosis value is minus 0.3. Skewness is 0.11. Range is 0.33. Minimum of the height is 1.33. Maximum of the height is 1.66. Total of the height is 1.32.74 and total count is 88. Means for 88 persons height is given to us, right? Now you can see if I talk about kurtosis and skewness, these two figures. So these are very close to 0, right? So that way I can say that height variable is approximately normally distributed. Similarly, talking about mean, median and mode, according to the characteristics or features of normal distribution, these should be similar or equal, but they are not equal, but they are very nearby, right? Somewhere I can say, conclude this thing that my data is, or my height variable is approximately normally distributed. So this way, this type of conclusions we can draw using the descriptive statistics. I hope I have made it clear to you people, right? Is it clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this was about the descriptive statistics. Now talking about the second tool.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
can I take chi-square test today or I need to discuss this tomorrow? Is it comfortable for you people to discuss today? It will take at least 15 to 20 minutes, as you say.
Tomorrow, please.
I think we'll discuss tomorrow.
Madam, tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow, please, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Please,
Ma'am,
ma'am,
I have a
tomorrow.
doubt. Okay, fine, no problem. But I request you
Fine,
people, there is one practice sheet available for you, and apart from that, weight variable is also available under the demo worksheet. So I request everyone, please do the practice of this so that you can understand how to perform. Because from practice only we can learn the things, right? So this is my humble
Yes,
request to
ma'am.
everyone.
Ma'am, I need one clarification. Means, ma'am, you told skewness minus 2 to plus 2. Means minus 2 SD to plus 2 SD?
No, minus 2 only.
Minus
Not
2
SD. Only minus 2 to plus 2.
Okay. But why minus 2 to plus 2?
Ma'am, I think we all know bell-shaped curve. As I said, I think
Yes.
it was
Real
Perv
curve,
sir.
yeah.
I think it was Perv sir. He said some things, right? You have noticed down the things. Mean plus minus 1 sigma, mean plus minus 2 sigma, mean plus minus 3 sigma. So something like that I'm talking about. So if I talk about that normal distribution curve, so it is ranging from 0 to plus 2, 3, and apart below that 3 means what I can say beyond that 3 there is a very small value or very small tail is coming. Clear? So usually if you are broaden your area of acceptance, that means maybe you are okay with the spreadness also. Is it clear? So if your skewness value is minus 2 to plus 2, that means you are only restricted to this area. If you're taking it minus 3 to plus 3, you are okay with this area also. With this area also. So in that way might be possible some variables or some values which are impacting your data, still you are considering them.
Okay.
Ma'am, that tomorrow's practice, we have to do the descriptive statistics, right?
So for practice purpose, I think sheet I have already shared with you. People need to perform that by your own. If you are having your any queries, you can ask me. Tomorrow we will do the chi-square and t both.
Same as what we did today.
Today we did descriptive. Tomorrow I'll explain you chi-square test and t test, and we will perform both on Excel.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Any other
Ma'am,
doubt?
I have a doubt. Ma'am, can we perform this test of data analysis for more than 2 variables at the same time? Like here we performed only for height. Can we do it
You
for
can select
height
both
and
the
weight
variables,
altogether?
height and weight. Yes, you can select. No problem.
So is there a limit that this much variable, maximum this many variables we can select at a time?
No, I think I haven't observed that, but I think it is not like only. But once we are talking about regression, in regression there is a limitation. We cannot take more than 16 variables at a time. But I think descriptive statistics is fine. It can take. I think how many variables maximum we are having? Maybe 15, 16, 20, 40, 50. It can accommodate that. But problem is it will generate the output in that manner also. So usually we need to decide what way we are getting output.
Okay. And is there any limitation for counts?
Obviously, we know that Excel has a limitation of number of rows and number of columns. So it is depending how many rows are there in the Excel. Only that much data we can enter. It is quite clear.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.